Hey, Fan Gang! Hope you had a fantastic Monday. Today, we are reading more Dracula. So let me put on my reading glasses and let's hop on over there. What happened last time? The boys, led by Van Helsing, discovered that Dracula had infiltrated their safe abode and had been chomping on Mina, Jonathan Harker's wife, and everyone's favorite, apparently. I think we left off with that last time. Yes. Last time was Mina and Jonathan both freaking out after getting Dracula. That's a verb now. Let us hop into that then with chapter 22. Jonathan Harker's journal on the 3rd of October. As I must do something or go mad, I write this diary. It is now 6 o'clock, and we are to meet in the study in half an hour and take something to eat. For Dr. Van Helsing and Dr. Seward are agreed that if we do not eat, we cannot work our best. Our best will be, God knows, required today. I must keep writing at every chance, for I dare not stop to think. All big and little must go down. Perhaps at the end, the little things may teach us most. The teaching, big or little, could not have landed Mina or me anywhere worse than we are today. However, we must trust and hope. Poor Mina told me just now, with the tears running down her dear cheeks, that it is in trouble and trial that her faith is tested, that we must keep on trusting, and that God will aid us up to the end. The end! Oh my God, what end? To work. To work! But when Dr. Van Helsing and Dr. Seward had come back from seeing poor Renfield, we went gravely into what was to be done. First, Dr. Seward told us that when he and Dr. Van Helsing had gone down to the room below, they had found Renfield lying on the floor, all in a heap. His face was all bruised and crushed in, and the bones of his neck were broken. Dr. Seward asked the attendant who was on duty in the passage if he had heard anything. He said that he had been sitting down, he confessed to half dozing, when he heard loud voices in the room, and then Renfield had called out loudly several times, "God, God, God!" After that, there was a sound of falling, and when he entered the room, he found him lying on the floor, face down, just as the doctors had seen him. Van Helsing asked if he had heard voices, or a voice, and he said he could not say, that at first it had seemed to him as if there were two, but as there was no one in the room, it could have only been one. He could swear to it, if required, that the word God was spoken by the patient. Dr. Seward said to us, when we were alone, that he did not wish to go into the matter. The question of an inquest had to be considered, and it would never do to put forward the truth, as no one would believe it. As it was, he thought that on the attendant's evidence he could give a certificate of death by misadventure in falling from bed. In case the coroner should demand it, there would be a formal inquest, necessarily to the same result. When the question began to be discussed as to what should be our next step, the very first thing we decided was that Mina should be in full confidence, that nothing of any sort, no matter how painful, should be kept from her. She herself agreed as to its wisdom, and it was pitiful to see her so brave and so powerful, and in such a depth of sorrowful, not powerful, and in such a depth of despair. There must be no concealment, she said. Alas, we have had too much already, and besides, there is nothing in all the world that can give me more pain than I have already endured, than I suffer now. Whatever may happen, it must be of new hope or of new courage to me. Van Helsing was looking at her fixedly as he spoke, and said suddenly, but quietly, But dear Madame Mina, are you not afraid? Not for yourself, but for others from yourself after what has happened. Her face grew set in its lines, but her eyes shone with the devotion of a martyr, as she answered. Ah, no, for my mind is made up. To what? He asked gently, whilst we were all very still. For each in our own way, we had a sort of vague idea of what she meant. Her answer came with direct simplicity, as though she were simply stating a fact. Because I find in myself, and I shall watch keenly for it, a sign of harm to any that I love, I shall die. You would not kill yourself? He asked hoarsely. I would, if there were no friend who loved me, who would save me such a pain, and so desperate an effort. She looked at him meaningly, as she spoke. He was sitting down, but now he rose and came close to her and put his hand on her head, as he said solemnly, My child, there is such an one, if it were for your... Why does he have to talk like this every time? There is such an one, if it were for your good. For myself, I could hold it in my account with God to find such a euthanasia for you, even at this moment, if it were best. Nay, were it safe, oh my child. For a moment, he seemed choked, and a great sob rose in his throat. He gulped it down and went on. There are here some who would stand between you and death. You must not die. You must not die by any hand, but least of all by your own. Until the other, who has fouled your sweet life, is true dead, you must not die. For if he is still with the quick undead, your death would make you even as he is. No, you must live. You must struggle and strive to live. Though death would seem a boon unspeakable, you must fight death himself, though he come to you in pain or in joy, by the day or the night, in safety or in peril. On your living soul, I charge you that you do not die, nay, nor think of death, till this great evil be past. I don't know if I'm just tongue-tied tonight or he's extra hard to say out loud. Goddamn Helsing. The poor dear grew white as death, and shocked and shivered, as I have seen a quicksand shake and shiver at the incoming of the tide. We were all silent. We could do nothing. At length, she grew more calm, and turning to him, said sweetly, but oh so sorrowfully, as she held out her hand. Okay, I just can't talk tonight. I promise to you, my dear friend, that if God will let me live, I shall strive to do so, till, if it may be in his good name, this horror may have passed away from me. She was so good and brave that we all felt that our hearts were strengthened to work and endure for her, and we began to discuss what we were to do. I told her that she was to have all the papers in the safe, and all the papers or diaries and phonographs we might hereafter use, and was to keep the record as she has done before. She was pleased with the prospect of anything to do, if pleased could be used in connection with so grim an interest. As usual, Van Helsing had thought ahead of everyone else, and was prepared with an exact ordering of our work. Here we go. More Helsing. It is perhaps well, he said, that at our meeting after our visit to Carfax, we decided not to do anything with the earth boxes that lay there. Had we done so, the Count must have guessed our purpose, and would doubtless have taken measures in advance to frustrate such an effort with regard to others. But now, he does not know our true intentions. Nay, more in all probability, he does not know that such a power exists to us as can sterilize his layers, so that he cannot use them as of old. We are now so much further advanced in our knowledge as to their disposition that, when we have examined the house in Piccadilly, we may track the very last of them. Today, then, is ours, and in it rests our hope. The sun that rose on our sorrow this morning guards us in its course. Until it sets tonight, the monster must retain whatever form he now has. He is confined within the limitations of his earthly envelope. He cannot melt into thin air, nor disappear through cracks or chinks or crannies. If he go through a doorway, he must open the door like a mortal. And so we have this day to hunt out all his lairs and sterilize them. So we shall, if we have not yet catch him and destroy him, drive him to bay in some place where the catching and the destroying shall be, in time, sure. Here I started up, for I could not contain myself at the thought that the minutes and seconds were so preciously laden with Mina's life and happiness were flying from us. Since whilst we talked, action was impossible. But Van Helsing held up his hand warningly, while I take a sip of my beloved green tea with honey. Nay, friend Jonathan, he said. In this, the quickest way home is the longest way, so your proverbs say. We shall all act, and act with desperate quick, when the time has come. But think, in all probable, the key of the situation is in that house in Piccadilly. The Count may have many houses which he has bought. Of them he will have deeds of purchase, keys, and other things. He will have paper that he write on. He will have his book of checks. There are many belongings that he must have somewhere. Why not in this place so central, so quiet, where he come and go by the front or the back at all hour, when in the very vast of the traffic there is none to notice? We shall go there and search that house, and when we learn what it holds, then we do what our friend Arthur call, in his phrases of hunt, stop the earths. And so we run down our old fox. So, is it not? Then let us come at once, I cried. We are wasting the precious, precious time. The professor did not move, but simply said, And how are we to get into that house in Piccadilly? Anyway, I cried, we shall break in if need be. And your police, where will they be, and what will they say? I was staggered, but I knew that if he wished to delay, he had a good reason for it. So I said, as quietly as I could, Don't wait more than need be. You know, I am sure, what torture I am in. Ah, my child, that I do. And indeed, there is no wish of me to add to your anguish. But just think, what can we do until all the world be at movement? Then will come our time. I have thought and thought, and it seems to me that the simplest way is the best of all. Now we wish to get into the house, but we have no key. Is it not so? I nodded. Now suppose that you were, in truth, the owner of that house and could not still get it. I think there was to you no conscience of the housebreaker. What would you do? I should get a respectable locksmith and set him to work to pick the lock for me. And your police, they would interfere, would they not? Oh no, not if they knew the man was properly employed. Then, he looked at me as keenly as he spoke. All that is in doubt is the conscience of the employer and the belief of your policeman as to whether or no that employer has a good conscience or a bad one. Your police must indeed be zealous men and clever, oh so clever, in reading the heart, that they trouble themselves in such matter. No, no, my friend Jonathan, You go take the lock of 100 empty house in this your London, or of any city in the world. And if you do it at such things are rightly done, and at the time such things are rightly done, no one will interfere. I have read of a gentleman who owned a so fine house in London, and when he went for months of summer to Switzerland and locked up his house, some burglar came and broke window at back and got in. Then he went and made open the shutters in front and walk out and in through the door before the very eyes of the police. Then he have an auction in that house and advertise it and put up big notice. And when the day come, he sell off by a great auctioneer all the goods of that other man who owned them. Then he go to a builder and he sell him that house, making an agreement that he will pull it down and take away all the way within a certain time. And your police and other authority help him all they can. And when that owner come back from his holiday in Switzerland, he find only an empty hole where his house had been. This was all done en règle. However you say that. And in our work, we shall be en règle too. We shall not go so early, the policemen, who have then little to think of, shall deem it strange. But we shall go after 10 o'clock, when there are many about, and such things would be done were we indeed owners of the house. Oh, at least it's one paragraph, not pages of Helsing. For now. I could not but see how right he was, and the terrible despair of Mina's face became relaxed, a thought. There was hope in such good counsel. Van Helsing went on, of course he did. When once within that house, we may find more clues. At any rate, some of us can remain there, whilst the rest find the other places where there be more earth boxes. At Bermondsey and Mile End. Lord Godalming stood up. I can be of some use here, he said. I shall wire to my people and have horses and carriages where it will be most convenient. Look here, old fellow, said Morse. It is a capital idea to have all ready in case we want to go horsebacking. But don't you think that one of your snappy carriages with its heraldic adornments in a byway of Walworth or Mile End would attract too much attention for our purposes? It seems to me that we ought to take cabs when we go south or east, and even leave them somewhere near the neighborhood we are going to. Brent Quincy is right, said the professor. His head is what you call in plane with the horizon. It is a difficult thing that we go to do, and we do not want no peoples to watch us, if so it may. Mina took a growing interest in everything, and I was rejoiced to see that the exigency of affairs was helping her to forget, for a time, the terrible experience of the night. She was very, very pale, almost ghastly, and so thin that her lips were drawn away, showing her teeth in somewhat of prominence. I did not mention this last, lest it should give her needless pain, but it made my blood run cold when in my veins to think of what had occurred with poor Lucy when the Count had sucked her blood. As yet, there was no sign of the teeth growing sharper, but the time was as yet was short, and there was time for fear. When we came to the discussion of the sequence of our efforts and the disposition of our forces, there were new sources of doubt. It was finally agreed that before starting for Piccadilly, we should destroy the Count's lair close at hand, in case he should find it out too soon. We should thus be still ahead of him in our work of destruction, and his presence in his purely material shape, and at his weakest, might give us some clue. As to the disposal of our forces, it was suggested by the professor that after our visit to Carfax, we should all enter the house in Piccadilly, that the two doctors and I should remain there, whilst Lord Godalming and Quincy found the lairs of Walworth and Mile End and destroyed them. It was possible, if not likely. It was possible, if not likely, the professor urged, that the Count might appear in Piccadilly during the day, and that if so, we might be able to cope with him then and there. At any rate, we might be able to follow him in force. To this plan, I strenuously objected, and so far as my going was concerned, for I said that I intended to stay and protect Mina. I thought that my mind was made up on the subject, but Mina would not listen to my objection. She said that there might be some law matter in which I could be useful, that amongst the Count's papers might be some clue which I could understand out of my experience in Transylvania. And that, as it was, all the strength we could muster was required to cope with the Count's extraordinary power. I had to give in, for Mina's resolution was fixed. She said that it was the last hope for her that we should all work together. As for me, she said, I have no fear. Things have been as bad as they can be, and whatever may happen must have in it some element of hope or comfort. Go, my husband. God can, if he wishes it, guard me as well alone as with anyone present. Because that worked so well last night. So I started up, crying out, "Then in God's name, let us come at once. We are losing time. The Count may come to Piccadilly earlier than we think." Helsing just went through this with you. Please, pay attention. Pay attention, John! It was 2 pages ago. 2 pages! Not so, said Van Helsing, holding up his hand. But why? I asked. Do you forget, he said with actually a smile, that last night he banqueted heavily and will sleep late? I mean, yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. Did I forget? Shall I ever? Can I ever? Can any of us ever forget that terrible scene? Mina struggled hard to keep her brave countenance, but the pain overmastered her, and she put her hands before her face and shuddered while she moaned. Van Helsing had not intended to recall her frightful experience. He had simply lost sight of her and her part in the affair in his intellectual effort. When it struck him what he said, he was horrified at his thoughtlessness and tried to comfort her. Oh, Madam Mina, he said. Dear, dear Madam Mina, alas, that I of all who so reverence you should have said anything so forgetful. These stupid old lips of mine and this stupid old head do not deserve so. But you will forget it, will you not? He bent low beside her as he spoke. She took his hand, and looking at him through her tears, said hoarsely, No, I shall not forget, for it is well that I remember, and with it I have so much in memory of you that is sweet, that I take it all together. Now, you must all be going soon. Breakfast is ready. We must all eat, that we may be strong. Breakfast was a strange meal to us all. We tried to be cheerful and to encourage each other, and Mina was the brightest and most cheerful of us. When it was over, Van Helsing stood up and said, Now, my dear friends, we go forth to our terrible enterprise. Are we all armed, as we were on that night when we first visited our enemy's lair? Armed against ghostly as well as carnal attack. What? Did carnal used to mean something different? Whatever, moving on, glossing over that. We all assured him. Then it is well. Now, Madame Mina, you are in any what was I saying there? You are in any case quite safe here until the sunset. And before then, we shall return. If we shall return. But before we go, let me see you armed against personal attack. I have myself since you came down, prepared your chamber by the placing of the things which we know, so that he may not enter. Now let me guard yourself. On your forehead, I touch this piece of sacred wafer in the name of the Father, the Son, and... But there was a fearful scream which almost froze our hearts to hear. As he placed the wafer on Mina's forehead, it had seared it, had burned into the flesh, as though it had been a piece of white-hot metal. My poor darling's brain had told her the significance of the fact as quickly as her nerves received the pain of it, and the two so overwhelmed her that her overwrought nature had its voice in that dreadful scream. But the words to her thought came quickly. The echo of the scream had not ceased to ring on the air when there came the reaction, and she sank on her knees on the floor in an agony of abasement, pulling her beautiful hair over her face. As the leper of old his mantle, she wailed out, "Unclean! Unclean! Even the Almighty shuns my polluted flesh! I must bear this mark of shame upon my forehead until Judgment Day." They all paused. I had thrown myself beside her in an agony of helpless grief, and putting my arms around, held her tight. For a few minutes, our sorrowful hearts beat together, whilst the friends around us turned away their eyes that ran tears silently. Then, Van Helsing turned and said gravely, so gravely that I could not help feeling that he was in some way inspired, and was stating things outside himself. It may be that you may have to bear that mark till God himself see fit, as he most surely all shall on Judgment Day, to redress all wrongs of the earth and of his children that he has placed thereon. And oh, Madam Mina, my dear, may we who love you be there to see, when that red scar, the sign of God's knowledge of what has been, shall pass away, and leave your forehead as pure as the heart we know. For so surely as we live, that scar shall pass away when God sees right to lift the burden that is hard upon us. Till then we bear our cross as his Son did in obedience to his will. It may be that we are chosen instruments of his good pleasure, and that we ascend to his bidding as that other through stripes and shame, through tears and blood, through doubts and fears, and all that makes the difference between God and man. There is hope in his world, words, and comfort, and they made for resignation. Mina and I both felt so, and simultaneously, we each took one of the old man's hands and bent over and kissed it. Then, without a word, we all knelt down together, and, all holding hands, swore to be true to each other. We men pledged ourselves to raise the veil of sorrow from the head of her whom, each in his own way, we loved, and we prayed for help and guidance in the terrible task which lay before us. It was then time to start, so I said farewell to Mina, a parting which neither of us shall forget to our dying day, and we set out. To one thing I have made up my mind. If we find out that Mina must be a vampire in the end, then she shall not go into that unknown and terrible land alone. I suppose it is thus that in old times one vampire meant many, just as their hideous bodies could only rest in sacred earth, so the holiest love was the recruiting sergeant for their ghastly ranks. We entered Carfax without trouble, and found all things the same as on the first occasion. It was hard to believe that amongst so prosaic surroundings of neglect and dust and decay, there was any ground for such fear as already we knew. Had not our minds been made up, and had there not been terrible memories to spur us on, we could hardly have proceeded with our task. We found no papers or any sign of use in the house. And in the old chapel, the great boxes looked just as we had seen them last. Dr. Van Helsing said to us solemnly as we stood before them. And now, my friends, we have a duty here to do. We must sterilize this earth so sacred of holy memories that he has brought from a far distant land for such felly use. He has chosen this earth because it has been holy. Thus, we defeat him with his own weapon. For we make it more holy still. It was sanctified to such use of man. Now I sanctify it to God. As he spoke, he took from his bag a screwdriver and a wrench. Very soon the top of one of the cases was thrown open. The earth smelled musty and close, but we did not somehow seem to mind, for our attention was concentrated on the professor. Taking from his box a piece of sacred wafer, he laid it reverently on the earth, and then shutting down the lid, began to screw it home. We aiding him as he worked. One by one, we treated in the same way each of the great boxes, and left them, and left them as we had found them all. Found them to all appearance. I am just losing my ability to talk. Where the hell was I? And left them as we had found them to all appearance, but in each was a portion of the host. When we closed the door behind us, the professor said solemnly, "So much is already done. If it may be that with all the others we can be so successful, then the sunset of this evening may shine on Madame Mina's forehead all white as ivory and with no stain." As we passed across the lawn on our way to the station to catch our train, we could see the front of the asylum. I looked eagerly, and in the window of my own room I saw Mina. I waved my hand to her and nodded to tell that our work there was successfully accomplished. She nodded in reply to show that she understood. I lost my ability to talk straight tonight. The last I saw, she was waving her hand farewell. It was with a heavy heart that we sought the station and just caught the train, which was steaming in as we reached the platform. I have written this in the train. It's only been a half hour, but I'm going to call it there for reading. But I have another half hour left, so stream's not going to end there. I'm going to load up Helldivers, because fuck it. I can't talk straight, but I can shoot bugs or bots. What page is this? 374. 374. Some days I just can't talk straight, apparently. It is what it is. I can get rid of there, take off my reading glasses. Drop that. Switch to the music for now. And load up Helldivers. Dracula is going a lot different than I thought it would be when I started it, but I like where it's going, because I like the transition from kind of thriller horror in the very beginning to like the soap opera kind of middle-ish, and now it's like almost like a true crime kind of, a detective thing with the boys. Do I need to switch my game thingy? I do. Nope, there we go. Okay.
Super Earth. 人類の故郷。
One second, I'll hold my nose.
自由と繁栄。民主主義。人類の生きる道。ああ、こんにちは。だが自由には対価もある。
Oh yeah, I discovered that the Japanese spoken language in this game takes it up like significantly in quality. Like, the English voice acting was fine, but Japanese makes it sound like the screaming deaths of Gundam pilots in stereo. It's awesome. The Japanese just goes harder than it should in this game. We're just watching this now. Even when Helldivers was fucked up this year, this is still the best intro since maybe Mechanicus. It goes so hard. Can you still do that? Can you one-shot a Ball Titan with an eat? I don't know. It's been so long since I really used the eat. Because I always like... Whenever I think of taking the eat, I just take the recoilless instead. Because why not? What is my loadout? I was going for a Deathcore Krieg loadout, and that was a lot of fun. I'm gonna switch to the Flamer instead of the meme rifle. That's good. Just so I'm not such a bad carry. Do we have an order? Incoming message. The Democracy Space Station, the spoiled rancid carrot on the end of the stick for the past 2 months, is currently in its 3rd construction phase. Ooh, who cares? We don't know how many it's going to be, so it's just indefinitely until they decide to kick it out the damn door. Before it can be activated, it must be staffed, which is no small task for such a stately behemoth. Though applications from patriotic, detail-oriented team players have been pouring in, the DSS requires over 1.3 million skilled workers. The Ministry of Humanity has therefore authorized the relocation of an unprecedented number of colonists. When polled, those affected by recent bug attacks along the Gloom border proved the most eager to serve. With the Jet Brigade still at large, this is a critical time for the DSS. Decryption of data retrieved from the Matar Bay have revealed the automatons to be mustering their forces. It is paramount that DSS staffing be completed as swiftly as possible. Yeah. Oh, we're already holding them. Okay. Whatever. Who has the most planets? Or Helldivers active? Over here. Falstaff. Esker. Is this the fire tornadoes? No, that's the storms. Oh, this one changed. Last time played, it wasn't the armor reduction. That's cool. Let's try and find an unprivate lobby. Yeah, it's private. That's what I figured. Quickly. Wait. Unless I'm gonna hop on one of these. Please, give me a game to join. Do I need to go down to 6? I don't want to. What about if I go up to 8? That one's annoying. 9? I was told this is where the Helldivers are. 10? Are they all on the lower difficulties? Oh my god, they are. Can we at least do 7, please? 7's the nice 7 is the nice medium difficulty. Come on, guys. Okay, we'll go down to 6. I guess. I should move myself around over there, and chat can go up yonder. Space Cadet power. I love my Deathcore Krieg loadout. The armor goes so hard. I will bring this one, and sterilizers always. No, because I'm bringing that now. So I will bring... It's not that good, but it's fun to play with. And then I found that the Airburst Strike and Gatling are a really fun combo, actually. I don't remember what mission this is. Whatever. Hey, Enjoyer, hope you're doing well. I lost my ability to talk straight, or read straight. So I did half the chapter in Dracula, and now I'm playing Helldivers for the rest of the stream. Because I still had a half hour left, so I figure I may as well play a game. Then I feel like going to bed early. Screw you. Shipping containers. Oh, I brought the wrong loadout to this one. I have regrets. I should have checked what the mission was. Oh boy. Well, at least I had the flamethrower. Small mercy. Immediate regrets. Let me up here. Well, at least I have the quick cooldowns over here. That's something. You were guessing I would bloodstain game after finish the reading? Bloodstain? It's in Japanese because that spoken language goes way harder than the English. And it's fun and funny. Will the bug spawn for us? Oh yeah, this is difficulty 6. That's why we're dying so fast. That shouldn't hit me. No, it won't. I'm so used to 7 that even going down to 6, which isn't that different. There's so fewer bugs. I barely have anything to shoot. Are heavies even gonna spawn on this difficulty? On 6? I guess there might be one every now and then. I see you. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, might as well throw you there. That's fine. I stream late, so I kind of expect most people to just watch the VODs anyways. I should have just gone and looked for a bot mission. Difficulty 6 is dull. Or at least these kill missions are. Yeah, he's dead already. November 7th in JP Guild Wars. I've played Guild Wars 2 a lot over the years, but not in a while. It's a fun game, but it's one of those games I have played so much I just lost the interest in going back to it again. Oop, that's about time. Yeet. I'll do it. November 7th. Here's a stomach kill. No, I was thinking of the game series Guild Wars, which are old MMORPGs. I'm distantly aware of Grand Blue Fantasy, but I've never played it. I heard the recent one was pretty good that came out this year, though. There's a few characters that I like in it, but I've never felt the need to play it. I've also just kind of given up on gacha games. I've gotten pretty tired of them. The last gacha game I played regularly was Girls Frontline. That was like 2019, 2020 was the last time I regularly played it. I just straight up gave up on it after a while. Before that, I played I tried Azure Lane a little bit, but it didn't catch me. I played a lot of Fate Grand Order before 2019. Yeah, Relink. That's the latest Grand Blue Fantasy that came out. Get out of here. I am a Krieger and I have a flamethrower. I guess I may as well yeet myself down here this time. Tactical yeet. Fate Grand Order was okay back in the day. It is not okay now. That game is ancient and is so old and ungenerous in its design. Please get in the car. I never really expect gacha gambling lawsuits to go anywhere or have much impact right now. It'd be nice if they did, but I don't really expect them to. Let's do a real mission next time. Oh no, I'm gonna leave these guys. That was the last one. I can go get a real mission elsewhere. Hopefully a level 7 mission will pop up that I can join in on. If not, I can just hop over to the bots. Although it's weird because in this loadout, I like the primary flamethrower so much that I tend to play against the bugs more, even though I prefer the bots as enemies. A pity system? Pity systems and gachas aren't a win. They're a teaser that encourages you to keep spending more money. Gacha games are a whole... There's a lot of moral issues with it about hooking younger generations on gambling, so they're just cooked by the time they become adults, which is an entire thing. But I don't really want to get into that on this. Not another Eradicate, come on. Here we go. Another Eradicate? Are they all Eradicates? Here we go. Please, no private. Let me join. Yes, it's public. It's so hard to find a public game. Put me in the game, coach. I'm ready. And then bring you and you. Yeah. Now we get a real mission. The NFT of Ubisoft. That was like a year or two ago, I think. It didn't go anywhere because it was dumb. That's all there is to it. If I can do these combos right. It's like 1 second per input. Let's see. Okay, this mission isn't... It's fresh. So we got plenty of game. Look. That's a minefield. I did not see the remines. Okay. Let's not walk into the mines this time. I see you, mine. Don't get me. Okay. Let's try this again. I tend to just ignore gaming news in general because it's very rarely worth thinking about. Or any news, really. Yeah. The regular machine gun isn't that great, but damn, it's fun. Oh, get out of here. Yeah. How did that put me on fire? I was diving away from it. What? The fuck was that? Did I get plasma shot? What the hell was that? Did they know mines? These guys are very team killy. Why are you calling in anti-tank mines there? Whatever. Maybe he knows something I don't. Did they change? Okay, they did change anti-tank mines. Now they can't just walk on them to blow them up. They actually only have to... They only blow up now on heavy units now. Flamethrower gang. Weirdly, I find the Torture, the primary flamethrower, a little better to use than the proper support flamethrower. Even though I assume the proper flamethrower, the support one, has like more damage to it, I feel like the Torture just cooks even harder. It's weird. Oh, well, yoink these as recompense for all the team killing and damage going on around here. Yeah. Oh, Physical Rock. They got it. I think I'll stick with the AMR guy because he wasn't killing me, I don't think. What up if I reloaded? Yeet! Oh, he cooking. I wasn't liking bugs at all last Friday when I played with Captain. But after figuring out this loadout, I'm liking them again. I still prefer bots, but whatever. No dust explosions. That would only happen if it was dust that was causing static electricity like sawdust or something like that. This is acid dust, I guess. I think that's what this planet is. Anything here? I'll take some grenades. And now swinging southeast. I don't know if I was just walking onto their mines earlier, but whatever. Whatever. Friendly fire is a constant in this game. What are you gonna do? Is there something further? Okay, they already closed up. Did no one bring grenades? There we go. Any samples? Yeah, samples. That's... Someone's just spamming the AP mines. Whatever. It's a legitimate strategy, I guess. I don't like it, but it's a strategy. Hello. Just some little guys. Oh, guys, get the flame too. Okay, I can just Gatling you as a treat. We do a little treats. It's so nice that this game is fun again. Despite their official Discord's worst efforts. Yeet. Get out of here. Yeet you. Now that we know that they're throwing mines around like assholes, maybe I won't die of them. Why are you going to my airburst, sir? What are you doing? Okay. I mean, I can't really be mad about that one because that's just how those sentries work. Oh, here we go. Can I get it? I think I tagged it. I don't know if it's dead. No, it's not dead. Please die. There we go. You're dead. Where is my stuff? It's over here. Gimme. And gimme. I would like my samples. There we go. Why is P1 over there where we're going to call an ordinance? That dingleberry. Whatever. He's going to be full of personal problems. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's what you get over there. You dipshit. Oh, that's an impaler. Where is the impaler? There he is. No, it's a charger. Yeet! Okay, where's the impaler? Eh. Did they kill it? I guess they killed it. Alright. I'm gonna walk away from the dip squad. I don't trust my teammates on this squad. I have the flame resistance armor. I only fear flame a little. Can have a little fire. Okay, that was the real Tusco Rock earlier, so we got the super samples. What is up here? Some boys. Please land. Please don't just hit that over it. Okay, good. I was worried for a moment it's just gonna artillery that overhead there. I really am liking the Gatling and Airburst combo. It's not super effective against the heavies, but damn, it's nice for clearing out the hordes. They are having the time of their lives over there, so I'm going to continue on. No idea what you're talking about, the testosterone, whatever, man. Cool, I guess. Ah. Get out of here. How much did we miss? We missed a bit. Not too much, though. They're calling a breach on me. They did. Get out of here. This is fine. That is something. I think we're good. Back. Should be good. Yep, I'm good. They blew themselves up. We're all happy here. Yeah, I know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about, though. That's not really relevant to this stream. You guys just die. I'm gonna die. Yep. Can I get you? Don't have a grenade. Throw that there. I don't have a thermite for you. Random topics are kind of cool. Let's not get that random. What? He launched me. A random topic has absolutely nothing to do with this stream. So. My stuff is there. So I can thermite from up here. If it will let me climb. Come on. No climbing allowed. I hate that they did that change. But I can yeet you in this. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're good. You're cooked. Is that gonna kill you? No. That will do. But get out of here. Gimme. Want my stuff. No, that was better. Okay, we're good. How about no? How about extra no? Oh, he's close to me. They're way over there. I'm gonna hit that point over here. Was here? I see it. Oh. Surprise charger. Goodbye, surprise charger. Rip in pieces. You smartass. Everything's on fire. That's a good thing. I don't know if that charger blew up. Let's just grab that and run. Eat. Okay. Actually, we cleared out this map pretty fast. Okay. Only stuff left really is all the way back there to the west, which I don't think anyone's gonna go for. So we got the super samples already. I might go back to the load that I was using before I got the guard dog rover with the chemical sprayer, which was the jetpack, and then with the chem sprayer support. Because the rover helps. This is the rover. This is the dog breath, not the rover. But the dog breath helps a bit, but not nearly as much as the dedicated. I can't think and do those at the same time. Not much as the dedicated chem sprayer. Perish. They're coming from over there now. They made the heavy machine gun funner, but it's still borderline unusable, or just not fun unless you're using the specific armors that reduce recoil, or the peak physique one that makes it handle better. The machine guns almost have the same issue that the assault rifles do, kind of, where they're just okay, but there's so many better options available. Especially for the regular machine gun. People say the Stalwart, the lighter machine gun, is good, but I've always thought they were crap. What? Oh, that's down there. Did the bug spawns break? The bug spawn broke. Okay. Fun time is over. Now we just chill for a minute. Oh well. Ugh. I need to do more Dracula readings on the weekends to try and get through that book. But I definitely want it done by the end of November. I think I have 6 to 7 chapters left. Around 100 pages. So I think if I do it on Saturdays, get done in 2 or 3 more weeks. Maybe. Yeah, that sounds about right. Alright, mission succeeded. We had a little fun in addition, because I ran out of my ability to talk straight for Dracula. But that will be it for tonight. Thank you everyone for joining. Tomorrow I will be doing that Phasmophobia solo stream that I meant to do last week, because I had technical issues. But that will be tomorrow night at 1:30 a.m. Eastern. Hope everyone has a fantastic Tuesday, and we'll see the Fang Gang later. Take care, everyone.